Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. R. Payne here. Hey, listen, it's Sunday, so I have to put another episode of my Sunday dinner with my loved ones. Okay, my oldest daughter who moved out of the house, she won't be. She's busy on weekends and stuff like that, so she's coming over on someday later this month, which is cool. So I'll make a special dinner that night. Every dinner is special, but the truth of the matter is, when she comes over, then we're all together, and I have some extra special stuff for her because I like it when she comes over. She's my oldest, my firstborn, and it's always nice to see her come over. And sometimes she'll bring a couple of friends and stuff like that, but sometimes she doesn't. But whenever she comes over, it's a good day because her younger sister's still here, mom's here. We sit around the table and we just chop it up, and it really feels good, And I don't do most of the talking. We have a few different topics we talk, and I kind of listen to them because my oldest daughter is a millennial, my youngest daughter is a Gen Zer, and I'm a baby boomer. And, of course, we're the most horrible people on the face of the earth at baby boomers, which I reject, by the way. But I always say that because all I get is shit when I'm on the YouTube about baby boomers, which is patently false. What people say in terms of the totality of the mentality of people about baby boomers. There's so many of us who didn't coddle our kids, didn't sell out to the puppet masters or none of that shit, and my daughters to me are a testament to that. So when I'm living it and me being just a regular dude, I have a lot of trouble with people telling me how horrible we are. Well, anyway, that's another story for another video. But hey, listen, if you're hearing this, like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Do all those kind of things for my channel, and I very appreciate it. If you have comments, fine, because I'm gonna keep doing these Sunday dinners with your loved ones. Because one of the things I'd like people to start to understand: if you have a family, I don't care if it's disjointed or not, if you have a lot of people living under your roof, if even if it's not just husband and wife, if it's just you and your daughters and your sons, or if it's you and a elderly parent, or whatever it is, find a day that somebody cooks and you'll sit around the table and you'll talk to each other. It might be awkward at first because you might not be used to it. It's something you don't do, but create that tradition. Just create. If I can offer you anything, just do it. And everybody might not be at the table. Let's just say you have 5 people in the house. You try to get them all there, and there's somebody, 2 or 3 of them having an excuse. So whoever's there, you and them start the tradition. You'll see that another person will join. If you do it consistently, then another person will join. And a person who never wants to join will start to see that they're missing out. And then one day you'll have everybody in your household at that table at that time, just to check it out. You don't have to be the person talking, even if you're the person who's cooking, but just get them around the table. Clear that table off, put that food there, and get them around the table. And then sooner or later, even if it's one day a week, you'll have a tradition started. Well, anyway, so I did something real simple, and I'm gonna go through. Hey, listen, I made some crab cakes, and I never, when I go out to eat, I never order crab cakes because it's mostly filler, and then you might find a little few pieces of crab and shit in there and stuff like that. And some places have better crab cakes than others. So I said, listen, if I'm gonna make crab cakes, it's gonna be have nut. It's gonna be abundance of crab. But what you got to understand is you got to have the right amount of fillers and binders in the mix so it doesn't fall apart. So we'll get to that. But let me go ahead and share with you the process that I used to get there. Okay, here it goes. Bear with me. All right, let's start. Okay, so you see what I have, what I'm showing you here. All right, so listen, I bought this little contraption a week or so ago, that helps you form whatever. I bought it for hamburger because I did a nice hamburger dinner to my last one. You can see that last video. And so this it has a two-pound capacity, 32 ounces, right? Anything more than that, you really won't be able to close it that well. And even with that, is not a struggle, but it's full. So it gives you 8 hexagon shaped patties, whatever it might be. Could be beef, and I found out today it works just fine for crab cakes. It could be sausage patties. It could be anything you want. So this little tool is not expensive, very cheap. I recommend it unless you want to use your hands to form things. When some people do, I use this, and you put it in the freezer, let it cool, and so that'll help keep the binds together, and all that. If you want to store it in this thing for overnight or a couple of days or whatever it is, this is a good tool for that. So I like this. I don't even know what the hell they call it, man. I just saw it because since I'm retired, I'm clicking through Amazon almost all the time. So this is a good cooking tool. All right, so I just want y'all to know that. All right, so let's keep this going. What is next? All righty. All right. All right. So here you have, you didn't see the work that I did to get this. This is the crab. I have parsley in there. I have some dill in there. I have around 32 ounces of mostly crab and some lobster meat. And then the panko, I believe, breadcrumbs, and bay seasoning, red onion, and not the whole red onion, by the way, just enough. You don't want to overpower it with onions. And you season this thing to taste. And actually, I did that. And you taste a little bit of it, see if it tastes good. And you want the patties, because all this stuff is cooked already, by the way. So when you put it in when you actually bake it or smoke it or put it in the what you call it, the oven fryer, whatever that fryer is. You could do all kinds of stuff with this, and you could put it in the oven. Um, there's a lot of stuff you could do with this, but I just did it on the stove in avocado oil. But anyway, you want to taste it, and then you put egg in it for to help with the binding. But once you put a raw egg in it, you got to stop tasting it until you cook it some more. At least, I mean, of course, some people do eat raw eggs, but once I put the egg in there, I wanted to make sure it tasted all right because I didn't want to taste any more until I cooked it a little bit. That's just me. I don't like raw eggs like that. So anyway, just something to throw out at you. And actually, so this is the mixture. Oh, I put mayonnaise in there, by the way, some Dijon mustard, uh, and so a little bit of garlic paste, just to keep this thing together. And it really tastes good. Before I put the egg in it, I put the egg in it, I mixed it up some more. And the egg is just more of a reinforce the binding. I probably should have put 2 eggs in there instead of 1. I just put 1, but I should have put 2. Anyway, so that's that. So that's that crab cake mixture, and most of it is crab cake. So I just want to. Most of it is crab. All right. So this is a picture of it next to what I'm gonna put it in, and then here I put it in so I can form it. And each one of these patties is all going to be around, quarter of a pound. So making these quarter of a pound patties, and of course, you close this up, you tighten it up, and I put it in the freezer. Now it was only in the freezer for like an hour, hour and a half, because I had to cook some other stuff. And before I got to the crab cakes, because it doesn't take that long for the crab cakes to cook. But I wanted them to be solidified, hard, and stuff like that. So, when it was time to take them out, they would already be preformed. Now, we're going to get to the point where there's I want to, maybe I get a D or a C for effort. Okay. The taste is fantastic, by the way. It really is, no matter what. So the way it looks and the way it tastes is not going to be the same. However, it ain't as perfect as I wanted it to be. So let's keep going. All right. So for the vegetable, I had some green and yellow zucchini, and I chopped up some more onions, some more garlic, and I put it in this little bowl. So this is, of course, you wash everything. By the way, if you can, you want to get all that stuff off, and you don't know where it came from. So boom. So that's that. And so now I have mushrooms. Of course, I rinsed those off. So I put those mushrooms, zucchini, a little bit of onion, a little bit of garlic in this pan with some olive oil and butter and, just a little saute. And it doesn't take long for this mixture to really saute down to where it's al dente, right? Not too soft. So you don't want to overcook it, right? So you want it to be, you want it to taste a little bit of the crunch. You want the mushrooms, I put them in first so they could get a little pre-seared, but they soften up pretty quick as well. These are baby bells, baby bellas, whatever you call them. I love those. So they're still kind of cheap, by the way. Maybe they're more expensive, but I don't pay attention to the price. I don't know. They seem cheap to me for each. You rinse them off first, by the way, before you use the mushrooms as well. And so here those patties formed, my little new tool, right? So look at them. They're nice, beautiful. I took these out of the freezer. So then look at them. They look nice. If I could cook them just like this, I would be, Master Chef Payne. So I tried. I tried. I really tried. But I didn't have enough binder, even when they were cool, to keep them together. So they started out cool. Some of them, the third with the fourth one down there, it kind of got stuck in the pan, even though I had olive oil all around it. So this is the beginning of the degradation. Now maybe I should have just waited for them to brown a little bit more, just so it's not a real high heat, just enough to kind of brown them. So because remember now, this whole thing is cooked. The egg is in there, so you want to really heat it up to a certain temperature and all that kind of stuff, and cook it some more. But all the original ingredients is already cooked, right? So you don't have to really, keep them in there for 100 years and try to recook them. It's just that you want to get that egg that you put in there, and it's really not that dangerous. A lot of people eat raw eggs, so. But I just want you to know that that's the one ingredient in there. If you want to have a little heat to it, and you want the whole patty to be a little hotter, so you can say that got to maybe 100 degrees or whatever. Anyway, so here's a picture of the patty. So they were starting to fall apart, and I tried to salvage, at least some kind of shape of these damn things, right? But anyway, flipping them back and forth. But anyhow, I wanted them to be brown, so I had to fail on the shape to make sure that I got a little bit of crust on both sides. So this is what they came out at. So you know what? It's all amateur hour. But in that pot, I had made some pasta. As you see the pasta in there, I put the zucchini in the pasta. Pasta, you make sure the pasta's not overcooked. So this is what I say, pesto pasta. It has a nice taste by itself, by the way. Stick of butter, water, a little bit of kosher salt, boil it. Maybe this took like 8 minutes. Then I drained it. I didn't rinse it because there was a lot of flavor in the pasta. So it might have been a little starchy, but I didn't care. I didn't want to rinse that off because that all the butter and all that stuff taste on there. Then I put the zucchini in there and the mushroom, zucchini, and all that kind of good stuff. So, and it tastes pretty damn good. And if you notice, I don't use a lot of salt. Try to minimize the salt. The salt that I had in the crab cakes was from the Old Bay for the most part. The panko breadcrumbs, I think, had a little bit of salt to it, and the butter had salt, by the way, in the mushrooms and zucchini, and in the water that I boiled for the pasta, I had some butter in there too. And so there's salted butter. I use salted butter. I don't see this. I don't see the need for unsalted butter. All right, so here's my plate. You know, so that's the plate. You know, it was delicious. Actually, it's pretty good. You know, I mean, you got to try to mess up the meal, but that crab cake, I don't, like I said, I don't order crab cakes when I go out, but I would eat mine all the time. So the next time I do it, I'm gonna try to perfect how much panko breadcrumbs I need, how much binders, a little bit more mayonnaise, a little bit more Dijon, whatever that you need to bind it with. I want to still use the same amount of crab, but I want to bind it better so it will stay formed. But shit was pretty good. Then of course I had some tartar sauce that was chilled, and then I mixed it with another sauce. So it's not just pure tartar sauce; it has some other stuff in there. And you don't have to. First of all, you didn't need the tartar sauce. All right. I wanted to put. I should have put two up here. I only put one. I was gonna have one with tartar sauce on it, one with no tartar sauce, but it's okay. So this is the meal. You see the zucchini in there. You see a little bit of mushrooms. You see the pasta. Yeah, it's pretty good, man. I gotta say, it was pretty good. If I should say so myself. You know, the wife is kissing me all night now. She's kissing me, oh, it's a great husband, blah, blah. I'm so proud of you. You know, she's such a soft touch anyway. My daughter loved it. She actually has seconds, which she never does. And so did the wife. I was the only one who didn't have seconds. Dig that. Me. I didn't have seconds. I just said I was full. You know, they say people who cook stuff don't eat as much, and yeah, they're probably right. Anyway, so that's 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 the Sunday meal for today. I had it was good. We had a nice conversation. My daughter's doing some great things in an architectural firm and things of that nature. So she was telling me a little bit of the story of what they have her. They got a big meeting coming up. They got a new contract on deck. I hope she gets it. You know, she was a project manager on it, and she's just in her second year. So she's doing well, and I'm proud of her. I want to take credit for it, but her worst day in school was better than my best day ever. So she's I don't know. She's her mother's daughter, Yeah, I just know she looks like me, so she's mine, but I give her my analytical brain, and her mother gives her all of the flowery stuff. So she's got a combination of both. So we're proud of her. So she enjoyed the food too. So my daughters and my wife, they actually look forward to Sunday meals. Now my wife cooks, right? But she's still working. I'm retired, so I'm here, right? So I stare at the computer, I work on the internet, I have some fun chopping it up on panels. But hey, I like cooking. I always have since I was in. My father was a cook, dietitian, head dietitian in a major hospital. So maybe it's in the genes. I don't have no problem burning it up in the kitchen or on the daggone grill in the summertime or in the smoker, whatever it is. And I just invent stuff. I mix stuff together, like the vegetable medleys. A lot of people, I don't know why more people don't do it. I always mix vegetables together, base of mushrooms, some butter, and I don't over season it, right? Just all my combinations, they all work out well. I just think about them the week before. Anyway, I'm rambling. This is another Sunday dinner with my loved ones, and I have a good time doing this, and I'm gonna continue, Lord willing. Anyway, our pain, marriage, politics, and sports. Over and out. Oh, one more thing. If you have any semblance of a family, if you don't do it already, find a day and make a tradition of sitting around the table and chopping it up with the people that you love. And if you haven't done that, you'll be amazed what happens when you start doing it. You just will be amazed. I can't tell you all the stuff because your experience will be different than mine. And if you have beef with some people over the dinner table, over breaking bread, could be a great place to fix that. God bless you. Later.